Hello underachievers. So, today's video is about cheating. Just gonna start off by saying I have a very negative view of cheating and people who cheat. I'm gonna try and watch this video with an open mind, you know, I don't want to be judgmental. I just don't really think there's ever an excuse to cheat on someone, and if these people start making excuses, I'm gonna be like, no, you just, no. So, I am in a relationship, I have a boyfriend, I have never been cheated on, and I have never cheated on anybody, so that's my experience with cheating, but I do know a bunch of people that have been cheated on, and it pretty much just destroyed their life for a big while, and I don't think that's fair to do to anyone. I genuinely think that cheating is one of the worst things you can do to a person. Obviously, it's not like, you know, shooting them in the face, but it's up there. Before anyone says anything, I know that, like, cheating once does not define you as a person. Like, once a cheater, always a cheater. Not necessarily true. Just want to say, though, if I was ever cheated on, that is the end of the relationship. That's what cheating is to me. Like, no amount of trying will ever rebuild that trust. But also, I'm a very insecure person, so I'm obviously, you know, I'm gonna feel a certain way about something like that. So, this is another video I'm reacting to from Jubilee. They're probably my favorite YouTube channel. They're really good. They do some great stuff. It's really interesting to watch. The title of the video is, Do All Cheaters Think the Same? Just want to say I've seen a few clips of this video, so there might be things that I've already seen, but we're just going to be reacting now.
I am a cheater, and it was a very hard time in my life when it happened. I ruined an entire part of myself.
Before, I wasn't very empathetic with cheaters, but after I did it, I understood.
I feel like it's a part of me, but it's not who I am right now.
I'd say in my early 20s, I didn't know why I was cheating. I didn't think a bunch about it.
Normally, a lot of people, they definitely beat themselves up for it. I don't.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like, good for you don't beat yourself up about it, but I feel like there's got to be some kind of, you know, guilt. You should be feeling a bit guilty.
When I cheated, I enjoyed it. 3,
When I cheated, I enjoyed
2,
it.
1, go.
Ouch! Ouch, that hurts. Like, that hurts my feelings. The majority of them enjoyed it. I mean, I get it, like, if you're cheating, you're having sex, you're enjoying that, sex is great, but also, like, ouch.
I was there for it. I was there for the cheating. Like, let me tell you, like, I'm here for it. It's a catharsis. It's cool for, like, the moments while you're in it, and then afterwards, I feel horrible.
Okay, that's fine. I genuinely thought this guy was gonna be like, yeah, I'm here for the cheating, it's catharsis, and then just say nothing else. I'm glad. Is it bad to say I'm glad he felt horrible?
And so this feels good to have this sort of connection with someone else.
I cheated in another country, so at that time, I was like, oh, nobody's gonna know about this. I don't say anything. It's, you know, it's all about me right now.
Okay, I also don't know how I feel about that. I don't know, I feel like the only negative view she had about cheating at that point was, like, other people finding out. Surely, like, you'd be more worried about, like, you know, how bad it will make you feel. I don't know.
But yeah, as soon as I got back, I just felt so guilty.
Yeah, I enjoyed it in the process because, one, my boyfriend at the time was 2,000 miles away.
I didn't even think about long-distance relationships. Wow, that must be terrifying being in a long-distance relationship. Like, at the beginning of the relationship, surely you'd be like, hey, I, like, really like this person, but they're, like, 2,000 miles away. What if they just cheat on me all the time? Like, you wouldn't know. That's terrifying.
I actually cheated on somebody. I was in a long distance relationship. I didn't cheat on the person, like, through sex. It was something totally different. I just considered other things as cheating. I did not enjoy it, no. It was like with a friend from like middle school. He like hit me up. I was like, how you doing? Okay, let's go hang out. What's happening? So no, I didn't enjoy it. And
You didn't enjoy
really
the moment?
horrible.
Like, you didn't enjoy like actually being with the person?
No.
Not at all, from the very beginning?
No, it just like if you like let things happen, I just let it happen. I'm just like, oh God, no.
Really?
Not again.
Then why didn't you stop? Why didn't you say, no, I don't want to do this then?
Yeah. That might have been like my lift's outside, gotta go. Yeah, at that point.
And like, he was like my ride, so I couldn't like my
He was my ride.
Once a cheater, always a cheater.
I'm not... Obviously, like, one bad thing you do in your life doesn't define you for the rest of your life. But I feel like when it comes to cheating and being in relationships, if you're in a relationship with someone, I don't know, I feel like you should be honest and be like, yeah, I've cheated on someone. That will then make the person you're in a relationship feel like, Are they trustworthy? So obviously, once a cheater, you're not always a cheater. That's not something that you're always going to do. Hopefully it's not going to be a repeated behavior. But at the same time, like, that will affect your future relationships. I don't know, that's... Ooh.
I would say I strongly disagree with this saying, simply because people change, people grow up, people learn things. Just because I did this one bad thing when I was like, let's say 15, doesn't mean that it should haunt me for the rest of my adulthood.
Once a cheater, always a cheater? Okay, no, not really. I've been in several long-term relationships where like I've cheated from the very beginning into the very end of the relationship.
How? Like, how?
You guys are saying like I cheated one time when I was 15 or something like that. I'm like, oh, you guys are awesome. I was like on some straight boy shit. So like I was straight up. So like what I was doing wasn't truly who I was. It was a defense mechanism. I have these strong emotions towards my partner. I really wish that they would listen to me. They're not, and so I'm just going to go and do something that makes me feel better.
I get it, but also that's dumb. I feel like a lot of the time when it comes to people cheating, they always come up with excuses as to why they did it. Obviously, an excuse is different than there being reasons for cheating. Like, if you're saying, I cheated because of this, but it was still wrong, then I'm like, okay, fair enough. But if you're like, I cheated because of this, and I'm right to have done that, I don't know.
So I don't think that once a cheater, always a cheater, but I do, on the other hand, always tell every partner that I've been with about my habits.
Okay, I respect that. That is ballsy. Like, obviously, when you're in a relationship, you should be 100% honest with the person you're in a relationship with. Like, obviously, that's something that should happen. But really, that takes a lot of balls to be like, yeah, I have cheated on a lot of people. That takes a lot of balls.
I share it openly because I think it's something that should be shared more often.
I would be willing to forgive someone if they cheated on me. 3, 2, 1, go.
No. That is literally like, no. I could never forgive. I know that I would try to forgive, but I know that I would not be able to do that because I am an overthinker. I have anxiety. Imagine if I got cheated on with, like, I don't want to use my relationship because I know that wouldn't happen, but, like, imagine if I had a girlfriend and this girlfriend cheated on me with a guy that I knew. Imagine every time she went to go see him, I'd be like, oh, like, she's going to cheat on me again. You know, like, I can't, that trust is gone. I can't take that back. They can't take that back.
Just because of the simple fact that I told my boyfriend at the time that I cheated on him, and then he forgave me. But then these things start happening where he's like, oh, but like, what's up? Where are you going? I'm like, oh, I'm going to a party. He's like, oh, boys are going to be there, huh? I'm just like, why would you do that?
Why would you do that? Look, I get it would be annoying if you cheated on someone and then you were like, no, genuinely, it was a mistake. I'm sorry, that'll never happen again. But to the person you cheated on, you literally, like, is your relationship a joke? How could you expect them to not be anxious about your behavior when you've done that? Like, you've shown them that you don't respect them enough to not cheat on them. Like, you've shown them that through your actions. Of course they're not going to trust you.
That just makes me want to, like, just go back to what I was doing. Let me just hop. Like, I can't.
No faith or trust
Yeah,
in
exactly.
me.
The
Like,
trust.
No! It doesn't matter who the person is. If I'm with someone and they cheat on me, that trust is gone. Like, that's a line that you should never cross. And if you've crossed it, you don't respect the line. Respect the line!
The trust after was gone. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm fine. We're fine. Like, no,
Yeah.
we're not, because you're not emotionally, mentally like, oh, I'm like, we're done.
Right.
It wasn't done. So.
If it was the other way around, I still would have been begging at his knees to be with me because of how much I was in love with him. And I still forgive him for what he's done to me. And if anybody were to do that later on, I'd be like, hey, I've done it too.
3 out of the 4 relationships I was in, I was a cheater, but on that last one, I got cheated on. Cheating all throughout that first year. Second year, same thing through that. I forgave him for all of it. I was still the one begging him to be with me. I tried. I said I forgave him for that, but I didn't really. I still have a lot of hate in my heart for that.
Well, you would.
But would I let the next person do that? Hell the no. Like, what do you mean I'm gonna get to know you just for you to do all of that stuff? Like, that's why we learn from our past mistakes, which that's kind of me being a hypocrite because I did the same mistake over and over again.
It's like, yeah, you did the bad thing, but at least you understand how that impacted somebody. Like, you get that. Okay, that's true. Okay, sorry. I'm worried about watching this. Like, this, I don't want to get angry.
But it would be really hard for me to let it go because I would always replay it in my head. For me, actually, the person I cheated on, we're still together. We're getting married next month.
to ask you about that. Congrats.
Yeah,
That's cool, I guess. Her partner's willing to be like, yeah, it's a mistake. We can work through this. Fair enough. You got balls. I don't. I really like the thing she said about, like, if she was cheated on, it would be replaying through her head the whole time. I find that really interesting. Because, you know, that's, like, somebody you love with your whole heart. Like, you trust them 100%, showing you that, like, maybe you shouldn't trust them. Like, they've broken that trust. How is that not something that would be traumatic to you? I don't know. I just... Ugh.
so he forgave me big time.
How did you find
Obviously.
out? So you cheated with him like overseas?
Yes. At first, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just break it off, not say anything. But he was so willing to fix whatever was going on, and he was like, I don't know what's going on. What can I do to fix it?
No, that's so sad. Like, oh, like that's horrible to me, because I know a lot of people, like, I have friends that have been cheated on, and a lot of the time they think they've been cheated on because of some character flaw that they have, which is obviously not the case. If someone's cheating on you, that's a flaw that they have. Like, the only person responsible for the cheating is the person who cheated. And the thought of this guy being like, hey, can I work on this? Oh, no, that's horrible. Bro. That's such a horrible thing.
And I was like, this is just what's going on. This is what I have in my head. Like, I'm unhappy. I think we should go to counseling and stuff. And so we did, and we're more honest and open with each other, and we were able to, like, work it out.
Cheating is always wrong.
Look, if anybody says disagree, I'm gonna be mad.
3, 2, 1, go.
It's not always wrong, because what if that person that you're in a relationship with is like toxic?
Yes, if someone you're in a relationship with is toxic, then the response to that would be, hey, we're breaking up. Not, hey, I'm gonna cheat on you. I understand that being a toxic person in a relationship is a bad thing, but it's still not an excuse to cheat on the person. Like, that's, no.
You're just like, okay, I have like an excuse to cheat on this person. That's why.
Isn't that more of an excuse to break up with the person?
I know,
Literally,
but like
yes.
you still have benefits with that person too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're in this relationship.
You have benefits? What do you mean benefits? What? I don't understand that. You're in a relationship with someone who's toxic, so you cheat on them. Do you think it's okay that you're cheating on them because they're toxic, but you also want the benefits of being with... No. No.
And then you're like, you have benefits, so why am I
That's
gonna
a
bring it
hard
up?
part, right? It's
Yes.
like, this is one of the things I'm like, why I'm afraid of marriage. It's like, in some ways, it's like, what if it goes like super south and like, I can't just undo this. This is not just a breakup.
I am a firm believer that no matter how toxic somebody is, no matter how horrible somebody can be, I don't think anybody on this planet deserves to be cheated on.
Nope. Thank you, Haley.
I wanted to believe I had good reason, but I didn't, even though he called me a dumb bitch every other sentence. And I was the most ugly and stupid person that he's ever met.
I hate that guy. I hate who she's talking about. I don't like him. I found it interesting when she said she wanted to believe that she had good reason. I feel like a lot of people who cheat, they think it's acceptable because they justify the reason they cheated to themselves, which is like, there's no way to justify that. You're just justifying it to yourself because you don't accept that what you've done is like a bad thing. But then again, like, doing a bad thing once doesn't make you a bad person. You can cheat on someone without that making you a bad person. But categorically, cheating is a bad thing to do. It's always a bad thing.
You can be in love and still cheat. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. I mean, I've never cheated on someone, so I guess I can't really talk much about that, but I just feel like, if you love someone that much, then, like, knowingly doing something that's literally just gonna destroy them is kind of like, why, how can you do that? But then I guess a lot of people will cheat without, like, thinking about it, or they'll do it accidentally, whatever accidentally means. Let's have a listen.
If you actually love someone, why would you ever want to inflict any sort of pain on them? It doesn't really make any sense.
Did you love the guys that you cheated on?
No, that's why.
You didn't love them?
I don't love any of them.
Did you tell them that you loved them?
No.
You never said you love. I love.
Well, I never said it to any of them because I didn't love them.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. I mean, I was in love with the people I cheated on. I mean,
Would you call yourself a selfish person?
super selfish. At that time, for sure. Super, super selfish.
I really like this guy. He's clearly, like, taken responsibility for what he's done. He's acknowledged that what he did was wrong, and maybe that sounds a bit patronizing, but, like, I find it, like, this makes me like him. Like, he's clearly grown. He's grown up, and he's not trying to justify it either. I like him. He's a good guy. Good guy.
Do you think you could have been selfish in a different way and still not have hurt the person?
Exactly. Yeah, I do. I agree with you. And that's a thing that now at this portion of life, like I try and do. I've not cheated in a long while.
Yeah, I don't have too many experience with relationships. So actually, my fiance, he was my first boyfriend.
Oh.
So.
Did you feel like you wanted to experience other people? What was the
200%. So yeah, like I said, he was my first relationship, and at that time, like I wasn't very confident in myself, my appearance, my personality. Guys were always looking at my friends, you know, and I was like, okay, this guy likes me. It's like this is it, you know. And then as I got older, I just like more comfortable with myself, and I'm like out when I was in Japan, I was like, oh hey, people like I'm getting attention, like I love this, like. Not like I fell out of love with my fiance now, but it was like, hey, somebody else likes me. I am pretty. Like, I am cool. He's not just saying that, you know?
That's like an ego thing. But I also, like, I get that, like, it's nice when you're really insecure about yourself and then people are like, oh, you're attractive. Because it's like, oh, I thought I was really ugly and disgusting, but you think I'm attractive? Hell yeah, I like you. But obviously it's not. It's not an excuse.
I have forgiven myself.
I don't think I could ever forgive myself for doing that.
3, 2, 1, go.
Damn, you guys haven't forgiven yourself. I've forgiven myself. For sure. I mean, it took a lot of like reflecting. I don't think my cheating is not truly who I am. It was the result of not seeing healthy relationships as I was growing up. Not seeing how people can work through things in a healthy way.
I feel like I had to forgive myself just because, especially after the relationship that I was in after that I got cheated on, just because now I understand both sides of it.
I guess it's unfair of me to be judgmental because clearly I don't know what was going on in their brain to make them do that. But at the same time, it's like, come on, like, it's a bad thing to do, but like, she's understood both sides. She's grown from it. Okay.
You can't grow if you don't forgive yourself.
Still haven't kind of forgiven myself, just for the simple fact that we're kind of like in a courtship, so we're like intending to get married. So I could have been in like her shoes of like, oh, fiance, but I didn't get that chance just because of the simple fact that I cheated, and then all that stuff happened. And yeah, that's something that I was like, damn, this time, if I would have stayed and I didn't cheat, I could have been like married by now. I could have had like the life that I wanted.
Do you think that you would be like, you and the guy would still be together if you hadn't cheated?
No.
What? That's weird. She was literally just like, if I hadn't cheated, we could have been married. We could have been happily married. But would you have been? No. Okay. It's funny.
I don't know how long I would have lasted in a long distance relationship, so well, that's why I cheated.
I'm definitely still working on it. It's something that still happened recently, just last year. So I just felt like, you know, all my life I grew up to be this perfect person. My parents were very proud of me. I never like went against them. So when I went to Japan, we were already engaged. So me coming back, my dad already put money on a down payment for the venue and stuff. I felt so guilty. So like even now, I know everybody is like forgiving of me, but I just have to work on forgiving myself still.
But that's like so difficult. Jesus Christ. Because like, obviously he's hurt. She regrets it. She feels terrible about it. It's crazy. I have a lot of respect for them, the fact that they could like work it out, but like Jesus, like the whole family's involved, like donating money for the wedding. Wow, that's a lot. That's difficult.
Because I still think about it, you know, how it affected everybody around me.
All right, guys, let's wrap.
Okay, well that was the video. What do I think now? Has my mind changed? Obviously still think cheating is a bad thing, something that I would never do, ever, and if somebody did that to me, I wouldn't be able to, you know, forgive them. But, I don't know, people have issues. I just find it super cool that they're, you know, acknowledging that what they did was wrong. They're not trying to be like, well, some of them are acknowledging what they did was wrong and they're not trying to make excuses as to why they cheated. But yeah, it's interesting. Don't cheat on people, please. Just don't do it. Just break up with them and then have sex with someone. Alright, well that was the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I found it interesting. Have a good day or don't. See you later, losers. Bye-bye. Punch. I really did just forget my outro there.